Chapter 3, Elmer and the Dragon. As we left last time on Chapter 2, you might remember he was out on a sandbar. The dragon was really tired and up to his tummy all night as the tide grew higher. And then they realized as the fog lifted that they could see an island. And so now we're on chapter 3. It's called the sandbar. The fog rolled along the sandbar out over the water, and suddenly Elmer shouted, There, behind you, look at that pretty little island. But Elmer, I can't move. Oh, Elmer, I hurt all over. The dragon grunted and groaned and strained and struggled, but he was too stiff to move at all. Elmer, do you really see dry land not so far off? Yes, nice, near, dry, green land, and the water's shallow all the way over there. Are you sure you can't move? I'll try again. How crazy! I can't even see the land after waiting here all night long in the soaking wet water, complained the dragon, glaring at the miles of ocean out in front of him, which was all he could see. So there he is again, looking one way, and Elmer can see the island the other way. Elmer walked around to the dragon's head and pretended not to notice, but the dragon was crying. Elmer, I guess I'm just not much of a dragon. A little storm comes along and forces me down, and I have to stand in water for a little while, and it makes me so stiff that I can't move a single muscle. That's not true at all, said Elmer. It was a big storm, and you stood in a lot of cold water for a very long time, and besides, you're only a baby dragon, and you're not used to flying long distances. And just as soon as the sun dries you off, you'll be unstiff again. Here, have another lollipop. Thanks, Elmer. But you'd better get unstiff pretty quick because the tide is starting to come back up, and it'll be up to your stomach again. You will be up to your stomach again in water. No, whimpered the dragon. Well, I'll hang on your neck and see if it will bend, suggested Elmer. He jumped up and caught the dragon's neck. He dangled for a moment, and then both he and the neck thumped down on the sand. Ouch! Groaned Elmer and the dragon. Now, look, can you see the island between your legs? The dragon carefully curled his head under to look, and then he shouted, I see it now, Elmer. It's really there. What a lovely little dry island. Now help me limber up my right front leg. Elmer pulled very hard on the dragon's right front leg until it would bend. Then he worked on the left back leg and the left front leg and then the right back leg, and started all over again with the right front leg. At last the dragon could turn around and walk. Here he is, though, before he could walk. He was, when they bent his neck down to strain him to see if he could see the island. At last the dragon could turn around and walk. By now it was hot, and the steam rose all along the dragon's back as the sun... I was trying to see if I skipped a page. At last the dragon could turn around and walk. By now it was hot, and steam rose along the dragon's back as the sun beat down on his water-soaked wings. Elmer started for the island, and the dragon hobbled slowly behind. They went along the sandbar as far as they could, and then they had to wade in shallow water. Elmer was still wearing his black rubber boots, but the dragon muttered, "I hate oceans," as he splashed along stiff-leggedly. Finally, they came to the pebbly beach of the tiny island. Above them rose a cliff, and green vines hung over the edge, making a pool of shade. Elmer and the dragon sat down and ate 15 tangerines, leaving 43 more in the knapsack. So we'll have to subtract and see if we get to 43. So we have to remember he ate 15. "I wonder who lives on this island," said Elmer, wiping his mouth on his sleeve. "I think there's a path over there. Come on, let's go exploring." "I'm afraid I'm going to have to rest a while longer," said the dragon. "My wings are still wet and heavy, and I'm awfully hungry. Tangerine peels doesn't really fill me up, and I'm terribly thirsty, and maybe I think I'm going to faint," said the baby dragon. "Then you rest here in the shade while I go look for food and water," said Elmer as he picked up his knapsack and went off to follow the little path. So I can show you he's going up, and there's a ladder there. The next chapter is called, chapter 4 is The Island, but you'll have to come back and see that tomorrow. Let's look really quick though over here. If we take 15 away from 78, so we had 78, and I'm going to erase this, and we take away 15. So remember, you can subtract down. 8 take away 5. On that side is 3. 7 take away 1 is 6. So there are 63 tangerines left for them to share together. And let me just make sure that's what they said. So we have the same. Yep. Oh, it says 43. Oops, yes, we made a mistake here. Let's go back. Miss Tina made a mistake. When we were taking away 6, take away 1 is 5. So this is a 5. And 5 take away 1 is 4. So yes, there are 43 tangerines left in the knapsack. All right, join me tomorrow for chapter 4, The Island. Bye.